My mom told me not to talk to strangers on the internet, but I'm glad I didn't listen. We are the Certified Nunas, your sisters in the love of Asian entertainment.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Talia.
I'm Sky.
Today, we're going to talk about Netflix's new drama, My First Love. But before that, we want to mention some upcoming dramas that we're excited for. Amanda, do you want to give us a little pick your top drama for starting in May that you're interested in?
There's a lot that look good, but I have to say Different Dreams is the most intriguing for me. I like that time period and the costumes, the poster looks good and the actors look good. And it looks horribly depressing because it can't have a happy ending, right? We know Japanese occupation continues past this period. So.
Yeah, it's a show about spies during Japanese occupation. It ain't gonna end well for anyone.
No. And it's not even like Chicago Typewriter is actually set in the modern time, but you know it's going to be tragic for them in the past, but you at least have it could end well for us now in the future. We don't have that. There's no apparent future lives that we get to. It's just going to be sad and depressing, but I'm still kind of into it. So
it does have Lim Ju-won in it, and still my heart. Ooh, so handsome. So handsome.
It looks good. It looks so good. The costumes, the prettiness.
The costume design looks really great.
I do love that time period. It's so good. So I'm looking forward to that.
What about you, Jessie?
I'm really looking forward to Angel's Last Love. The previews have looked amazing, and I think it's just kind of right in my genre alley. And I'm very much intrigued by it because I don't know a lot about it too. An angel that has fallen from heaven, or last thing to do, I don't know, and then a ballerina, and there seems to be some sort of accident that happens. It's just the preview is very quick and cuts.
If we look at the synopsis, it says it's the story of the guardian angel who has fallen to earth. For him to return to the sky, he has to complete a mission to find a true love for a cold-hearted daughter of a rich family. Her cold-heartedness stems from losing her eyesight, disabling her dream of becoming a ballerina. Oh boy.
It seems like great melodrama that Justin's gonna absolutely love. I'm interested. I like Elle, but I don't know how he's gonna do in this type of role. Because I don't everything that I've seen him in, he's fine in, but it feels like this is a very different role or very different level to his acting, which it could be just because he hasn't done anything in that genre that he hasn't been able to show it. So I'm kind of interested to see. But I think everybody plays off of what's her name? The girl that was in Still 17 and everybody plays off of her really well, so it actually might work too in that respect.
So, for me, there's a lot happening in May, a lot of, crime dramas, which normally I'm the go-to for that. However, despite the fact that, both Voice and Save Me have a new season coming up, and I'm really pumped, I am most pumped for Absolute Boyfriend, because I love the Taiwanese version, which is so bad that it's good type show. But this one actually looks like it might be good. And I sort of really enjoy this whole renaissance on robot love that's been happening in dramas recently. Maybe a little vision of the future as robotics become sort of it's sort of they read the manga Chobits and then learned nothing from it. But it has an amazing cast and it actually looks good. It doesn't look so bad that it's good. It looks just enjoyably good.
Yeah, looks like it could be. The cast is so good.
Yeah, and then it has, as the main female lead, it's got my main lady Mina, or as I call her, female G-Dragon, because she looks like a female G-Dragon. Faux show. No, 100%. You watch, Beautiful Gongshim, and for the first couple episodes, I was that's just G-Dragon in a mask. In a wig. That's just G-Dragon in a wig. But, it looks like it's gonna be a good one, so I don't want to get too excited because excitement leads to disappointment, but I'm like, I'm tempering my excitement for this one. It looks pretty fun.
I'm interested on that one just because it's like been completed since last year.
Yeah.
So I wonder why.
There can't be any like weird extensions. There can't be any. It's all done.
Yeah.
But they did that for a lot of like maybe because of the special effects, like because they did that.
I guess maybe that could be it.
Yeah, because
I was just assuming it was something like external, but
yeah. Well, Are You Human 2 did that too. They finished it like a year before it came out.
Yeah. Which I kind of like with this kind of thing. You don't wind up with like the big issues where they like they had like green screens and stuff in the airing episodes. Like that's pretty hurtful.
And also like you're not gonna get a good even just because of the time crunch. You're not gonna get good quality stuff. Not just because of people being stressed about doing stuff. So like it's never gonna produce anything like good.
Mind-blowingly good. Yeah.
I think anytime they do something with a lot of special effects, they really should do pre-produced because the on-the-fly special effects, it never goes well.
They're always so bad. Like, you always look at them and you're like, no. Like, no.
I cried, but no.
What about you, Sky? What are you looking forward to?
I think Abyss is probably the one I'm honestly, I haven't watched a trailer. I very purposely am kind of avoiding anything about it so I don't get too excited because I try not to get too pumped for things really.
It's the road to disappointment.
Like the exceptions are when like my Astro Boys are doing something, so I just know everything from square one. And I'm gonna like it no matter what happens. But pretty much everything else I try to I'll see who gets cast and I'll get excited and I'll be like, well, and then kind of know the premise and then just leave it at that. But it looks cool. The poster's cool. I've heard good things about the trailer that I haven't watched.
I mean, to be fair, it's Korean marketing. It could go anywhere.
The teasers really mean nothing.
Yeah.
So
or even the poster.
This could turn out to be another like serial killer situation. We're gonna hope
super happy rom-com. You never know.
We never know. You just never know. Like it could give you exactly what the poster is promising, or a little surprise.
Well, on that front, in the beginning, I was not interested at all in The Secret Life of My Secretary, but because no one knows what the heck it's really about,
what is it gonna be about?
It makes me want to watch it.
Like the previews, even the previews, they tell you nothing.
And they have so many previews out, and you're like, but I still don't know
what this is about.
And I mean, even this thing that, like, on the list that we're reading, it's just, like, bickering to romance. Mm-hmm. And that's basically it. And it's like, and then it tells you about the actors and what they've done recently, but it doesn't actually tell you anything about the drama. It's
and
like
some of those previews don't actually look like that, though. They're like, they're not bickering because apparently they knew each other, and then I don't know. Is he blind? Is he face blind? Does he kill someone? Does he not?
These are the big burning questions that we need to have answered.
Like, I guess we'll just have to watch it to find out.
Like, it's like the character is the secret serial killer. I don't know. It's
stressful,
be really
and we haven't even started.
Drama that we did.
We're all gonna tune in to watch that just because we all have to figure it out.
I just need to know, what is this? You know what? In that sense, maybe this marketing has been very shrewd because we all want to just. What is happening?
Because at first it felt like an off-brand. It felt like an off-brand Secretary Kim. Like
exactly. Right?
Oh, I might tune into that if I have nothing else to watch. But, like, now that I'm confused, well, now I have to see what's going on.
Yeah.
So then other stuff that's coming out, Save Me 2, which I will not be watching.
I will
not be watching.
Watch Save Me. So I probably won't watch Save Me Too.
Oh, but they're not related stories. They're not like dependent on each other. They're different. Like
then maybe I actually will watch it then.
And then Voice 3 comes out, which I'm really excited for. I think.
Also, I haven't watched Voice 1 or 2.
Oh my god!
I know. I'm sorry. I have all summer. Okay.
That's true. That's true. Summer. You and I, we can rabbit them together. I don't think the other two will be particularly interested in our loving ways. But so good. So good. Mm.
I think I might like One Spring Night.
Yeah, I love him so much.
He's such a sweetheart. He was the winner of our March Madness second lead, is starring as the lead. So that's exciting.
Yeah. I mean,
cute.
The pictures I'm seeing here make it look like super serious, so I hope it's not.
Yeah, it kind of looks depressing, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, we need, you need a little bit of rain to appreciate the sunshine all the more. Am I right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the thing says the rough story sketch is longtime lovers who realize love again as they look back on their relationship before breaking up.
Oh.
But it says realize love again, so like maybe it's one of those things are going bad, they're going to break up, but like when they go back looking at their life together, they make it work, or they, fall in love all over again.
Yeah, and that one's going to be on Netflix, so
it's always nice when we can actually access things.
And I imagine that Absolute Boyfriend will be on Cocoa because it's on the same network as Big Issue, which is on Cocoa right now.
I'm pretty sure I just saw the trailer for it on Cocoa's YouTube.
Voice 3 and Save Me are both OCN, so
good luck.
Speed.
Who knows? We'll see where it comes up.
I'm what's this? Wind blows. The wind blows. And then it's like, discovers he has Alzheimer's.
You're like, no.
Is that the Japanese drama one?
Oh, it might be. Let me see.
Have you watched that? I might have watched that.
And the director from Flower Boy Ramen Shop.
Yeah, no, I'm out.
Oh.
That's the thing that Kim Ha-Newell's going to be in. No, that's a different person. Sorry.
Kim Ha-Newell.
Yeah, different. Sorry. But it's going to be the same time slot, so whenever Welcome to Waikiki 2 ends, it's going to go in that time slot.
Yeah, that seems like a smooth transition. Am I right?
I'm used to watching that chaos. And it's like, oh, okay.
Never mind.
And then that President's Aid is coming out.
Yeah, there's Shin Min-ai in it.
Ooh.
Yeah, so deviating from her charming light roles. Yeah.
Is this the thing that's based on The Survivor?
Oh.
The Last Man or whatever that one is.
Yeah.
No. But it is. It's like a
Survivor. No, I don't think that's the same one. I think that's another one coming out later in the summer.
The reason I thought that is because it said struggle for survival, but then it's just like...
Yeah, no, designated survivor would be everyone except for him and the government gets killed. So I'm not I'm not even giving away like any spoilers about the original because it happens in the first episode of the TV show Designated Survivor.
And like that's like the actual like official term. Like that's an actual role.
Yeah.
I don't know. That one's probably going to be a no for me, but it is from the same showrunners as Miss Hammurabi and K2 and Life on Mars. So people like some of those.
Like Life on Mars was amazing, and I really though I know I'm in the minority here. I really enjoyed the K2. I thought it was pretty good.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
Like, every time I mention, like, I like the K2, people are like, the show's so terrible. And I'm like, it wasn't that bad. I don't understand. Why does everyone hate it so much?
I mean, I remember very, very strongly the Ji Chang-wook changing his shirt in the back of a truck, like, car or whatever.
He also had...
So it can't have been all bad.
He also had a full naked fight scene where everyone was naked in it. And and it wasn't like they artfully filmed it, so like stuff was like behind chairs or anything. They just blurred out the dicks. Like, I wish I was kidding. Like, they were like, nah, we're just gonna blur out the dicks, it's fine. Which was like the first time I'd ever seen something like that in a K-drama. So I was like, whoa. Also, like, hard to watch fight scene a la Eastern Promises, if you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, no, I thought it was good. It was a good like action political thing. I don't know. People just they love to hate. They love to hate. What can I say? Well, that's what we enjoyed coming up. And before we talk about our thoughts on my first love, we thought we'd play a fun little activity harkening back to our middle school and elementary school days. That's right. We're going to play MASH. K-drama, well, just Asian drama MASH.
Might not be a K-drama.
And side note, we actually did try to look up the history of MASH itself because we were curious. No one knows.
No. It just sort of like appeared over time, like variations of the game led to the MASH that we know.
I think those early cave drawings
the swirls.
Women were playing MASH while the men were out hunting, and they're
just bored, you know.
Yeah. I don't even remember learning it. It just was always there.
We just always knew how to, like, there was no one instructing us how to play MASH. It was just...
We just knew how to play a game to predict our future.
Listen, this could very well be proof that we are living in a simulation. That when you reach a certain age, just the knowledge of how to play MASH and how to draw that stupid
just insert it.
Just insert it into your brain.
So okay. I'm supposed to spiral here, and is that what we're doing here? I'm drawing a spiral and counting them.
Oh, also, should we like establish what each of the houses like kind of represent, like in terms of K-dramas?
Should we also introduce the categories too?
Yes, probably.
Let's go through all of the stuff that we spent a fair amount of time doing this earlier.
Yeah, we pre-planned for this.
Good half an hour coming up with all.
It doesn't seem like it, but we did actually prepare.
We actually technically prepare like every week. We have like a Google Doc and everything, and just we still sound like this, so
this is how we will always
do it. It is what it is, you know.
So I mean, MASH is obviously it's the mansion, apartment, shack, and house. So these are going to be our settings, our living arrangements for our lead in some way, shape, or form in this Asian drama we are creating.
The shack could be a rooftop apartment.
Or like hovel, you know, boonies.
Country hovel.
Yep.
What's our first category?
We've got our product placement category with vacuum cleaners, Subway, red ginseng, and coffee.
Oh, beautiful.
We've got our genre category with rom-com, supernatural, slice of life, and legal crime stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Our lead actor, the man who's going to be the man, So Jisoo, Jang Hyuk, Marcus Chang, and Chi Jang-wook. We've got where will this take place? Will it be a Japanese drama? Will it be a Thailand drama, a Taiwanese drama, or a Korean drama? Second lead options are Johnny Hwang, Jisoo, Hong Jung-hyun, and George Hu. Nice options.
Second leads are good.
Yeah, our second leads are all very, very steamy. Go on.
Okay, so then we have trope we don't like, noble idiocy, serial killer, the surprise serial killer.
Out of nowhere.
He doesn't need to be there, serial killer. The overly jealous second lead, and the evil mother-in-law. Then we have the tropes that we do like. The contract or dating or marriage scenario. The birth secret bromance. The enemies to lovers, and the found family. And then we have just that special little extra category. Some little extra that could pop in. So, good or bad. The cameos, the crazy, you know, lots of cameos, few cameos, special cameos, whatever it will be. A a bad or like not fitting soundtrack, the like rap soundtrack on the Saguk or the music on the scary scene, or the romantic music for the like really creepy not romantic scene at all, the last minute episode extension. So woohoo, we're going up to 18 or 20 episodes.
That's the ultimate blessing and a curse right there.
Yeah.
Or when you're starting to talk like in the 50s and you're like, no.
Yeah.
Just stop.
End my suffering.
And then the fan service scenes, good or bad, blessing or curse.
You decide.
It is.
And also the premise is the person, we're kind of like your name in a fan fiction.
Like you're reading a YN fan fiction.
Female lead. We are
creating this
plane is the female lead.
Yes, you, the listener, are the female lead or male lead. We don't judge. Of this wonderful K-drama or Asian drama that we are mashing together for you. Oh, fun! Knee slapper. I hit myself again.
That'll teach you to do bad puns.
That'll teach me to use puns. Okay.
So as you do a spiral, do we stop her? Is that the way that works?
Yeah, she does the spiral and then we just stop her whenever.
All right. So do I tell you when I start, or do I just start going? Okay, I'm starting.
Stop! It seemed like you were going for a while, and none of us wanted to be the ones.
I'm running out of space on my paper here, guys. Jeez.
We're all just staring at each other intensely.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, 8.
Okay.
So.
All right, let's do this.
All right. So I'm just gonna.
Yeah, narrate what's happening. Narrate what's good.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ji Chang-wook is out.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fan service scenes are out.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Johnny Huang is out.
Oh, bye.
Huang.
7, 8. It is a rom-com, ladies.
Whoa.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Coffee is out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No cameos.
Oh, jeez, this is going to be a rough drama.
Hong Jun-hyun is out.
Oh.
1, 2, wait. Which way did it go last time? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's not Supernatural.
Damn it.
Not Sub.
Oh, no.
Listen, none of mine have been picked so far.
Here's the extra. Is the bad soundtrack.
Oh,
okay.
We're really winning it right now. Okay. Continue.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is not a Taiwanese drama.
Oh.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is not taking place in a mansion.
You notice we all don't care.
You're like, whatever about that.
Anyway, we do not have an overly jealous second lead.
Yay! Yay!
It's not Korean, ladies.
Oh. It's going to be Thai or Japanese.
No vacuums.
Oh.
Whoa, this is really going to be... Well, I guess if it's Taiwanese or Japanese, it works.
It is not found family.
Oh.
Don't make it be a contract marriage. Come on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is not a legal crime thriller thing. It is a slice of life story.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's fun. Okay.
I like that.
Okay.
No noble idiocy.
Yay!
It is a Japanese drama.
That is totally perfect for a Japanese drama, slice of life. Like,
it is.
It's all Japanese drama.
That is true. There is no surprise serial killer. Yay! Evil mother-in-law.
Well, okay, you can't win them all.
I mean, exactly. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No apartment. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's be a shack, ladies.
5.
It's gonna be a wild slice of life.
Our second lead is Jisoo.
Isn't he always, though? Isn't he always?
In a Japanese drama, that should be interesting. Okay.
They could just dub him.
Yeah, it could take place in Japan.
No crack. It's a plain old house, ladies.
Okay.
A regular slice of life with a nice house.
That's slice of life. That's slice of life.
Yeah.
That's right.
Come on.
All right. What else?
This is really shaping up to be a Jessie drama. I'm liking this.
Contract marriage. Come on.
Okay, our product placement is red ginseng.
Of course,
Okay.
contract marriage. Come on.
No enemies to lovers.
Aww.
No Marcus Chang. We've got Jang Hyuk as our lead role.
That's gonna be a really odd love triangle. Jae Hyuk at one end and Jisoo at the other.
Maybe it's not a love triangle. It is Japanese. Some don't have romance at all. So, maybe it's just a flat-out romance.
Hey.
All right. Speaking of which, we've only got contact marriage for secret bromance left.
Come on, contract marriage. Come on, contract marriage.
No contact marriage. It's a birth secret bromance.
No! I did not come out the winner in any of this.
Okay.
So, we've got a Japanese drama starring Jang Hyuk and Jisoo in a birth secret bromance slice of life story.
I feel it.
House takes place in a house, or one of them lives in a house. There is an evil mother-in-law, or maybe an evil mother. I mean, really, it's a birth secret bromance, right?
Right.
And there is a really inappropriate soundtrack. And that's it.
Perfect.
What's the PPL? What's the PPL?
Red
ginseng.
Red ginseng.
Red ginseng. Beautiful.
Well,
I'd watch it.
I'd watch it too, but I watch everything, so.
But this is perfect because Japanese dramas, you never know where they're gonna go, and this show doesn't seem like we know where it's going.
Yeah.
So it's great. I got this. We'll watch it all. It's gonna be short. It's gonna be 10 episodes long, an hour each. It'll be great.
Nonsensical trailers for it too. You'd be like, oh, well, what
you're like,
they're in Japan for some reason.
I assume that a Japanese drama with starring Jang Hyuk and Jisoo has really bad dubbing involved.
I sort of see how you could both fit it into a romance and also a birth secret bromance. I'm gonna go on a real horrible limb here, ladies. Jang Hyuk doesn't know it, but he's actually Jisoo's dad, and they're both in love with the same woman. That would be a very Japanese drama.
That is true. But the other thing with Japanese dramas, you never know. Age gap means nothing. So the fact that one of them.
He was a teen dad. He was a teen father. And
which also could happen in a Japanese drama.
Very easily.
More than a Korean.
Yep.
Okay, well, I think we got a really solid drama happening.
A really solid beginning.
I mean,
that
all the previews for it will be nothing like what we just said.
No.
However, it will have the crappy soundtrack.
Oh, yes.
Its posters will
there'll be one good song that plays during the trailers and the ending credits, but you will never hear that one good song ever again. Yeah. It'll just be terrible elevator music no matter what's happening.
They'll be super tense and it'll still be elevator music.
Yeah.
Or really romantic music when they're super tense.
Yeah.
And then when it's the actual romance scene, it's high action, someone's gonna die.
Or the dun 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 music, and you're think they're gonna kill each other, but no, they just kissed. Okay, good.
I'm confused, aroused, but confused. Okay. So now that we've had our fun, let's get down to the serious business, ladies. I'm talking about this rom-com slice of life drama that we watched on Netflix, My First Love. From what I hear, it was based on Because This Is My First Time, right?
Yeah. I'm hearing that same, but I've never
seen it, and I've seen Because This Is My First Time, because of course I have it to me. And to be honest, I only watched the first 4 episodes so far of My First Love, and it seems real close.
It does say on my drama list, it says related content, because it's the first time.
Pretty much the same plot.
Yeah, I never saw, like, anything that, like, officially declares it. There was one article that said it was loosely based on it, but per what I've been hearing, and, like, everybody kept on guessing it before it was even out, that it was like this, I feel like it's not loosely based. I think it's pretty...
4 episodes, I can
maybe a situation is different, but it's still the same outcome.
Like, for example, like, Because This Is My First Love, like, the friend, like, the girlfriend, the female friend who's rich, isn't rich and has a dead dad, which is how she sort of ends up in the mix. But, like, in this one, and she wants to be a hairdresser, but she's really bad at it.
So it's not blow for blow.
But it's, like, pretty, like, the main triangle is pretty close.
Like, close enough that you're like...
I'm looking at because it's the first time cast, and I'm like, ooh, I like that cast. I think I should watch that one, too.
It's a pretty short drama, too. I think it's only, like, 12 episodes or something like that. And it's pretty good.
When was it made?
8. It's 8 episodes. So, I mean, we're already... Because it's the first time, it's a 2015 drama, and it was 8 episodes. It was on the On Style network.
Yeah, it was like a really small network.
Don't they have a YouTube? Because I feel like I've seen some, like, little web dramas, especially Song Ji-hyo did a web drama where it was, like, very, like, makeup product placement, or, like, she'd, like, describe putting something on.
Would that be the Beautyology 101, maybe? Because I'm looking at their other ones. Beautyology 101, Ruby Ruby Love, Love Is, Oh Dear Half Basement Goddesses. Telling the story of 4 Greek goddesses who come to Korea to spread love and peace. But this is the reality of high rent and living costs. And
hey guys, we have to watch that sometime.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds right up all of our alleys.
4 goddesses? That's us. I mean, what are you saying?
Well, I mean, I don't know what this is, but it's pretty. Dialogue 2014, starring Nana, Lee Soo-hyuk, and Hong Jung-hyun. So it's all kinds of pretty.
I'm listening.
Add that to my list.
It's called Dialogue. It looks like it's some kind of, like, just fashion thing, maybe. It has, like, nothing about it, but it's, rated 8.4 because it's a documentary on art and fashion. There you go. It's pretty. It's got prettiness. Yeah, it's a lot of documentary stuff, it looks like, on this channel.
Okay.
So, beauty documentaries and...
Maybe they started to branch into dramas.
So, yeah.
So, for My First Love, I didn't know that it was broken up into 2 seasons when I watched it.
Okay, here's the thing. I have only found one, like, and I searched. I've searched today, and I've searched, like, every day. There's only one article that says there's actually 2 seasons.
What was it?
It was the variety.
Not ending. Like, it's
definitely like it was a weird ending, but, like, the only one that I could find said that they had filmed all 16 episodes, with 8 coming out in season 1 and then 8 coming out in season 2. And, like, what's coming, or what's on Netflix, or that one Netflix one that's, like, pretty legit on, like, posting things, was just talking about how people wanted a second season. They didn't confirm a second season. So that's what's, like, weird about this.
Yeah, because it feels like
a 16-episoder.
Yeah.
It had to. It was a cliffhanger. It was not a memories of the Alhambra where you can see where it could, like, it also could be the end.
Yeah.
This one definitely. It was like, I mean, it was a cliffhanger. I was telling Talia this, like, it was a cliffhanger, like, in between the first and second episode of, like, a week. Like,
yeah.
Like, it was, so you
like,
saw the ending of the 15, like, episode 15, so you're, the next day you're gonna get the conclusion of it.
Yeah. It was a really weird, I was, like, looking around the television, like, is there more? I'm like, what's going on? Because I finished and I went, oh, okay.
It made the pacing, if it does not get a second season, it makes the pacing feel really, like, why they did it that way. It makes it feel really weird. Like,
I guess possibly because it is a Netflix drama. Like, this was produced by Netflix. It wasn't produced by, like, anybody else, and then internationally it's, like, airing on you know, for us on Netflix. Maybe Netflix, that's how they set up their shows, like, that they produce. So they have the, like, season 1, and if they want to do the season 2, they have to look at the ratings first.
Yeah, because that's what they did with Kingdom.
Does tend to do that too, though. Like, even with stuff that they have ordered all of it, like with their animated stuff, they'll order a 22 episode season, but then they'll release it in 3 chunks over the course of the year, just because that's how they like to do things. It's not, you know, it's like some kind of Netflix thought
strategy,
rather than giving it to you all at once or giving it to you 2 episodes a week or 1 episode a week. We're going to give you a dump of half and then a dump of a second half later.
Yeah. It'd be nice if they told you it was coming.
Yeah.
I know, that's the thing. I was
that's
like,
how it ends.
Tell me. Like, what happens if it had poor ratings, which I don't think it has poor ratings, but, like, what if it did and you, like, ended it on, like, actually, like, legitimately this cliffhanger, like.
It's kind of, like, it was a cute show. I enjoyed watching it. It was very bingeable, super bingeable, because, like, the episodes they're about 50 minutes long, like, not even a full hour. Like, they felt, episode-wise, felt like they were done quickly, and you're like, oh, okay, like, cool, I'll watch another one, sure. So, like, I would, if I'm giving it a review based on the belief that there's a second half coming, then my review is probably higher than if I think that's honestly where it ends.
Oh, yeah.
Then it's going to go down in numbers, because I'm going to, if you give me that WTF ending, I'm going to be like, nope, take a couple of points off. But if that's the cliffhanger, if you tell me this is season 1 and there's a season 2 coming, it's going to rate higher in my mind, because I know there's more, and I can just rate it based on what I've seen and say, yes, this was good. It was enjoyable. It's a cute slice of life story with great little characters, and I enjoyed it. But if that's it, then I maybe enjoyed it a little less.
Then your enjoyment becomes tainted if that's how it ends.
Exactly. A bad ending can taint an otherwise good show.
It's true.
And that thing was, it wasn't bad, it was just weird. Like, it was like, what am I going to do now?
You're like,
I don't know. Tell me what you're going to do now.
Move on with your life? Like, I don't know, buddy. Like,
go back to your girlfriend that you haven't dumped yet? Like,
yeah. Oh, boy. Like, because that was sort of, no one cares if I spoil the show that's, like, 5 years old, do we?
Nah. Go for it.
How it ends in, because this is my first time, is that Mino's character basically, like, comes to terms with the fact that, like, she just wasn't interested in him romantically, and that's okay. And then he goes and joins the army, and it ends with, like, her and the friend, like, waving him off as he gets on the bus to go to the army.
I'd be good with that ending.
Yeah.
I would right now.
They do. There's a lot of times in the drama where Jisoo's character talking, like, it's kind of weird to me, because he's like the main character, but he's not. Like, it's almost like he's the hub of the story.
He's the catalyst to the story. But not even him. His house is the catalyst to everything happening.
Well, and the fact that he's friends with all these people.
Yeah, he has the connection.
And why they become connected to each other, you know? But his story itself is not particularly compelling. It's not bad. It's just is what it is. And
it's the old rich boy comes to term with not everyone's as privileged as he is.
Yeah.
Well,
very, frequently throughout it, he talks about not knowing what his goals are or what his dream is and stuff like that. Other people are like very clear path and they know what they want to do and they know what they're trying for. And he's just kind of one of those like goes to college because that's what you do. So I guess, right? But he
tries hard at it.
Yeah, like he does his work and he's a really great character. Like just seems like a really nice guy. It's kind of like Page Turner. Like he's just this nice guy.
Yeah.
Like, again, you don't
he's nice, but he definitely is privileged.
A nice guy.
Like they definitely show his privilege. Like and he does have like moments where it actually like for me I was like, oh, I actually don't want you with the girl at all because you're being terrible. Because he's very privileged in that he's a male and then he has money. Like there are like definitely things he was like, no, like for a fact you have to leave this boyfriend, but I can still have the girl who's terrible and then I'm like doing her homework for it and that everybody is talking about. Or like scene where he is like, I would never do that. Like I would never just like leave you know, like let you walk in the rain. She's talking about how, you know, he has a part-time job, so I left him there and then I walked home. It was my decision. He's like, I would never do that. And she's like, yeah, but you have the option to stay home. Like you don't have to be at the job, and he does. And in turn, me too. Like I don't get to like have that option.
Yeah.
And he's mad, like in that scenario, he's also mad at her because she walks home barefoot. And because she doesn't want to ruin the nice shoes that he bought for her. And he's like, they're just shoes. And he's not wrong, but she can't afford to buy herself new shoes.
Yeah.
She can afford to put a Band-Aid on her foot.
He can just walk down the street and pick up something and then come back.
So
I'm going to have an unpopular opinion that the last 2 episodes, I really didn't like his character at all. Like,
that's not an unpopular. I actually really, like, there was most of the time I was like, he's not a terrible, like, human being.
Yeah.
But he is actually being terrible. And there was, like, and, like, I didn't root for him, like, basically from day one, didn't root for him.
Yeah, it's like, a lot of the times his character just makes you go, like, boy! Stop! What is you doing?
Yeah.
Like,
he gets worse.
I know. Well, if it follows, because this is my first time, I know. He's actually not as unlikable as Mino's character was.
So I didn't find him like horribly unlikable. But I did think he was very immature. Like his behavior was like, very immature.
Yeah, immature and a spoiled brat for most of the time.
Yeah.
And then was only really thinking about himself.
Mm-hmm.
One of like the best parts in that series was when the lead girl was with her best friend at that internship that they're doing, and they're talking about how he's like his new girlfriend and how terrible she is and stuff. And then the friend's just like, you know, all those years we were thinking who's gonna be his like first girlfriend, and of course a guy like him would choose a girl like her. And you're like, yes, that's it. It's
accurate.
Like he's because
what I sort of
really
like about it
guy
is that she's so horrible to him, which is kind of like, well, he kind of brings it upon himself. Like, so it's sort of the awakening that he might actually need about how to actually treat people and think about other people. That raised him did not
entirely terrible to him, though. Like, she is, but he doesn't know how terrible she is.
He doesn't know.
Yeah, she's not as bad to him as she is to everyone around her.
Yeah. Because that's the thing that I find weird with her, is because at times you could, like, when she's with him, she's smiling at him and she's like appreciating who he is, or seems to be. Like, she likes who he is as one more fish in her aquarium kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like, you're not sure, because you know how K-dramas go. Is he this guy that is going to turn her around, and like his sweetness and innocence is gonna like turn her around. And then you're like, as it progresses, you're like, no, she's just horrible.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
Okay, so from the very first episode, I guess I wasn't paying attention very closely. I thought she and the best friend were brother and sister. Like, so the entire, like, literally for, like, 6 episodes, I was, like, under the assumption of that. Like, every time they saw, like, the picture, I was like, why are we not addressing this? Like, wait a minute, what's going on? And that gave, like, a really crazy perspective to this story. It was just there to move. Was he a mover? Was that why he was at that house? And that's the problem.
Yeah. He did a side job that his dad assigned him to go do. I'm sure he's just he was
just doing like a part-time job.
He was moving into the house.
Oh.
Yeah.
Considering all the other mover guys were older. Like, I could see that.
And almost all of his shots when they were together, you couldn't see what he was wearing. It was like his face. So that was, like, so really bizarre. Yeah. And then also I was like, well, I know who the dad is. Why is she talking about this book that he's a photographer in? So, and because also, if they had been brother and sister, it would make sense how she's shitty, because she's just, like, lying about her entire life. Like, and so, like, it made sense. And then finally I was like, oh, she's definitely not the sister.
I'm like, oh, wait.
Oh, she's just shitty.
I gotta rethink all my, I could see how that would make it a totally different dynamic.
It make you see his character better for not being related to the crummy girl? Or did it matter? Did it change your perspective on him?
No, I don't think it mattered. Especially because they never really, like, you only saw them interact when they finally go on, like, the road trip.
Right.
The house. So, like, yeah. But I mean, like, you only saw him, like, out and about in the world.
Yeah.
You never saw his house, you know? Like, and even then, like, with her, you only saw her that one time when she was like, or the couple times when she was like, oh yeah, your stuff that's in my room, you know, being crappy.
So terrible. Like, how do you tell that to someone who just is basically homeless? Like, where do you get off?
It's just crappy.
It's just like...
Also,
I was proud of the lead girl, though, to, like, say something. Like, I was just kicked out of my house overnight. I mean, I was glad she had the guts to at least say it, because in that situation, like, I probably would have...
you know, like, it's one of those things where you see it and you're like, well, I hope this never happens to you, because you'll be wishing that you weren't this fucking rude about it if it does. Like, I always say that, like, I'm always really nice to homeless people. It's, like, just a rule of mine that even if I don't have money to give them, I still say, like, no, I'm sorry, but have a nice day. And people are like, why are you so nice to them? Just ignore them. And I'm like, they're human beings. Like, if we're all just one really bad weekend away from being homeless. So, like, maybe just have some compassion.
Right.
Yeah. So that's, like, a really quick, though, I must admit, though, that is a really quick narrative device to tell you all you need to know about a character.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
In one shot, they got it for us.
Yeah.
That's true.
The second lead guy, if you want to call him that, I really like his character.
The second lead, main lead.
The main lead, second lead. The incredibly mature.
The best character on the show is what you're saying. Yeah. The only one you'd ever consider dating in real life.
That guy.
Gotcha.
He's so sweet.
I think also why there are times when I was like, I just hated Jisoo's character so much, was because every time Jisoo said something about her boyfriend, which was him, and he was like complaining to him, like he just kept on doubting himself and just like being crushed.
Okay. But to be fair, he deserved to doubt. The two of them do not have a particularly healthy relationship either.
That's true.
They keep lying to each other and telling each other things, not in a heavy, deep way. It's not like they're really trying to manipulate each other or anything. But, you know, he says, did you get caught in the rain? And she lies about it. Like, you know, like there was constant, I have to downplay myself to make you feel better. I don't want you to feel guilty, so I'm going to lie so that you don't feel bad. And that's not healthy either. Like,
it's not, but I could understand they're both in a situation that was really shitty. Like, so, like,
yeah,
for sure.
That was like a lot of that was a product of their relationship, like them,
definitely.
Like feeling bad for being, like, almost feeling bad for being in a relationship when they really need to be focusing on the fact that they owe people money and, like, they need to survive and figure out things. But it was just, like, really, like, kind of heartbreaking how much, because they really did show it, how much it affected him. Like, I mean, he was, like, from, like, the first episode, he was one person, and as soon as that started happening, he was, like, really doubting himself. And then, so to the point where I was like, how is this going to end? And is it going to end poorly in what I want to happen?
In those last couple episodes, you really saw it, because it was, like, he was so happy, and they were, like, flirting and stuff, and then it's, like, one conversation, and bam, he's, like, depressed and cranky, and you're like, yeah, like, it definitely was affecting him. But I
that
think
can be a bad gateway.
It was good in that it got them talking, and I thought, like, that was kind of my perspective on those conversations that he would have with Jisoo, was that, yes, it was bad because it sent him into a tailspin, but it was also good because he was getting this information that he otherwise wasn't getting from the person who was asking for it from. So I thought that was good too. But yeah, it was kind of a neat device there where he's got these two friends, and a couple of times you think he's going to figure it out. He's like, who was I talking to about this? Oh yeah, I was just talking to her about the same thing.
He is such a doof. Like, after the third time, dude.
I think, but it also did, like, really make his character, like, that he was a rich, privileged, like, human being, like, really stick with some of the things he was saying. Like, of course, like, if someone has a part-time job, like, they have to go to their part-time job.
Yeah.
Like, only the person who doesn't have to do that would, like, instantly be like, no, I would never do that. Yeah, of course, because you literally could go and rent an entire house for your friends with your dad's credit card. Like, come on.
You would never, because you would never be in that situation. Like,
What did you guys think of the other friends, the actor and the little rich girl that ran away?
Okay, I love the actor.
I love him.
He's good at making funny faces.
Yeah.
He's just kind of sweet and, like, has such terrible parents that you just ask yourself, like, how does someone stay that hopeful with those parents?
That's what I should put down for my bad trope. Golf clubs.
Oh, man.
That was hard to watch. Especially since he was, like, so tonally dissonant with, like, sort of the cheerful, like...
Yeah.
And then makes him leave in nothing but his underwear. Like, that's cold.
Yeah.
You kind of saw a little bit, like, there was a moment with the dad where he was, like, surprised that he was taking his clothes off. Like, it's like he made that demand expecting that his son would back down and, like, it would get them out of that situation. And then when he wouldn't back down, well, then dad's not backing down either.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of see how they're kind of the same person.
Yeah.
But
like, manifesting in completely different ways.
Yeah.
Because what I find was different is, like, they're both very stubborn and they're very controlling, but the son wants to control his own life, whereas the father wants to control everyone's life.
Yeah.
So.
I have this, if there is a second season, I have this sneaking suspicion that the horrible girlfriend is going to turn Garen into her parents. She's going to find out. And she's going to call the mom and be like, oh.
That would make sense, especially
because... living with my boyfriend. Come pick her up, because I don't like that. You know, like...
Garen was the one to... And Garen was the one to kind of out that they were all living together.
So, I was kind of fascinated by the fact that the evil girlfriend put that all together. I'm not... I mean, she seems like a smart character, so I'm not saying that. But it's more like, you know, she has... all these boyfriends that she's juggling. She has the film thing she's trying to ponder constantly, trying to, you know, act whatever way to Jisoo's character. And then on top of that, she was having enough brain space to, like, care that much. I don't know. It just kind of surprised me that was a thing for her because...
I think
she used a lot of energy towards it, whereas a lot of other things about his character she would just be really dismissive and not really care. So I was just kind of amazed that that she was putting that much effort to figure that out.
She strikes me a little bit maybe like the evil golf club dad. Like, she wants to control everything.
Yeah.
So she's okay having 50 boyfriends, but like, her boyfriend better only want her. Those 50 boyfriends only have her in their aquarium. They can't know about each other, but so like, I kind of felt like that was the thing. It wasn't even so much that she cares about Jisoo. She just doesn't want him to have other options.
I kind of saw it as she wanted what he had, because she talked a lot about her father not being there. When he talked about his mom, like, she really was genuinely like, oh, I'm so sorry, we shouldn't have brought that up. So I feel like, to me, it felt, especially when, like, she just kept on seeing how everybody was having fun and just not overthinking things. Like, it was her being like, I've never had that, because she also lived in the States or in Canada or wherever she did. She's just never had that. And on top of it, the person who's had that kind of like bound family is the girl who grew up with the guy that she's seeing. So I think that was kind of also the driving force, especially because if we're going to go the K-drama route, she's going to have a redemption story anyways, and that's probably what her redemption story is going to be. She's going to become one of the friends. But like,
oh no, I don't want that.
Just felt, like, because there was a lot of times when they would, Garin and the guy would go and they would be like doing something during when they were taking all the pictures of the buildings, and she would look at them. And it looked like she just wanted what was going on. Like, she wanted to have that kind of like friendship, but she's obviously like kind of a terrible person. Like,
and we know enough about her background that we're supposed to sympathize a little bit already.
Yeah.
But I don't.
I don't.
I don't know why you
it's like, I've always sort of felt like, with characters and in real life, it's like, you can only use your past as an excuse so many times before
you're just a terrible person.
Yeah, you just gotta own it. Like, especially, you can't.
When
you can
she's
only
had
use
a privileged life. Like, her dad was away, but she still has a house. She's home to go
they'll
to.
probably reveal some other part of the dad or something that's like heartbreaking, and then we're really supposed to care, which I won't.
See, also, this really plays really nicely if her dad was the best friend's dad. It just works so well.
She would be so much more likable if that was the case. If her whole snobbery was like a life lie that she was building up to like make her seem better because she was so embarrassed and ashamed of her sad, poor life or whatever.
So her mom, even though we didn't see her mom for very long, I didn't really like her mom either.
I didn't, but she wasn't as terrible as the daughter.
No,
she wasn't that level of terrible, but you kind of saw like, oh, you get some of that from her.
Again, I kind of, like, the mom was sort of, well, I feel for you, kid, but, like, I bought a house. Like, I did it all legal. Like
I get it. Like, on one hand, you get it, and it's like, and it was actually nice of her to be like, well, pack up what you can and tell me what you want to keep, and we'll put it aside for you. So, like, you can't fault her for that one.
Right.
Yeah, like, still,
I mean,
still depressing.
Obviously, you also know this girl didn't grow up in a vacuum, right? Like,
right.
Yeah.
She came from something, and like you said, she has privilege. Like, she has a house, and she's traveled, and she's led a good life. So the bad attitude has to come from somewhere.
Right. Okay, how did you feel about the confession video that Jisoo's character made?
Honestly, I didn't watch it. I was too.
I was cringing the entire time.
It's so stupid.
I don't get embarrassed. Okay, this is strange. I don't get embarrassed when I do stupid stuff, but when I see people doing cringy, stupid stuff, like, I'm like, ooh, no. So I, like, have to fast forward through all of that stuff. Like, I just can't handle it. I'm just like, oh, no, ooh.
Yeah.
It was also so terrible. Like, it was like, I know this is just like just some random film club, but like nobody would accept that film like into their club. Like all those guys would have been like, no, this is the worst. We're like out voting you out. Like it was just terrible. Like especially because it came off of him recording the moment when they told a friend that he got the cast. You thought that was part of what he was making a film for.
Yeah.
And so you're disappointed. Like I was like disappointed. I was like, oh, well that's not as cool. Jisoo, I love you, but come on.
It really, I think, it was very in character for him, though.
Oh yeah, totally. It made sense. In the story.
Completely unself-aware, like, just...
There's no way she'll turn it down in front of these dudes. Like, there's no way.
Yeah, she did like it. She was impressed, I think, by his willingness
Moxie.
to do that. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's not... The film itself didn't impress her, but she likes guys to like her. And he likes her.
She likes being the center of attention for men.
Anything else about the show?
It just has to be a second season.
Yeah, they can't leave it like that. That would just be too cruel for everyone.
Yeah, well, like, there's just so many, like, stories, like, now that, like, we're discussing it to remember, like, she's obviously gonna do something to make him use all of his old baby film to get into the festival, which she'll probably put under her name and then, like, win the contest under her name. Like, that's obvious, gotta be a direction. I mean, he only figured out that the best friend was the boyfriend at like the last 5 minutes.
He's not the brightest bulb in the pack.
He's definitely not. But I mean, like in terms of just like the show telling you things, like it was literally like the last 5 minutes. He was like, oh, they're kissing. Wait a minute, what?
Wait, but I thought she had a boyfriend. Oh.
That's very much
like.
Well, and then it's like, what am I going to do about it? And then it cuts away. It's like, no!
You know what, though? Like, I have an answer for him. Move on, friend. Do nothing.
Yeah.
Move on.
It doesn't matter because she's allowed to have that. You're not dating her. You're dating someone else. So get over it.
And the thing that gets me about that is that when he thought she liked him, he was horrified. He was like, I don't want this. I don't know.
I have to figure out a way.
I have somebody I'm interested in. And then as soon as she has a relationship, then he's like, wait. Like,
it's like an eternal, like, grass is always greener situation. Yeah. Like, he doesn't like her until he knows she doesn't like him.
He doesn't know how much greener the grass is right now, but, like, that grass is way greener than, the grass he's got right now. So
I think it did a really good job at like kind of hitting some of like the just trials of being in that age.
Oh yeah.
You know, I think that's what was really nice about it. It was just like some of the characters were saying some things, and I was like, I remember that.
How friends they kind of mature at different rates because of the things they're going through, and it is a really hard time. Like it really is.
Sorry for any of the youth out there who haven't hit that age yet. It ain't gonna be good.
Prepare thyself.
If you're having an easy time, be very suspicious because the wheels are turning. The ball's gonna drop.
That like scene where she's sitting there like, aren't I supposed to be out having fun? Like when she was talking to her mom, that's really sad. This character has to like grow up so fast. And then her best friend doesn't have to. He can just do whatever. Then you have the other two who are growing up in their own they have their own situations that are.
I find it so interesting that both of them have parents who essentially don't really care about them, but it manifests in two completely different ways. And I find there's a lot of that duality going on in the show where it's like, like they'll be technically in the same situation, but it'll go in completely opposite ways. Like the other couple, the actor and the rich friend, they both have super controlling parents, but it manifests in completely different ways. Mm-hmm. And so, I kind of like that. Nice.
It adds a lot of layers.
Yeah.
And I really, like, I do enjoy when it's, like, the four of them together celebrating things. I think that's when the show, like, really is enjoyable for me. Like, just, even when it's, like, simple things, like, all of them sitting on the couch watching Busted, because that's what they were watching.
Yeah. I love that they were plugging a Korean Netflix show.
Yeah.
Or, like, you know, like, when they, like, found out that, like, even Jisoo's character, when he found out that the person who was calling him was the production company for the show, and he figures out that the kid got cast in something, that he immediately leaves the girl he likes to go plan a party, and then they just have this, like, really cute little moment. I feel like it kind of reminds me of Age of Youth. Like, there are parts that, like, really reminded me of that, like, kind of tone where it's, like, just, like, all the characters just coming together for, like, kind of a real, like, nice moments that even if they're, like, mundane, they're just, like, a nice moment.
Yeah, Jisoo's character's loyalty to his friends when he finally, like, thinks for a second, it's like, yeah, that's why I like you.
That's why he's, like, he's a redeemable character, because his main flaw is he doesn't, half the time, he doesn't really think about other people's situations. So
he's, like, never malicious.
That's an easy thing to get over. You just need to think about other people, and I think by the end, hopefully, he will start thinking of other people.
I think that's the thing, like, with the ending that it had, where he's like, what am I going to do now? Because he's never a malicious person, and he does really, truly care about his friends. You can see where that's a moment where he's having that conflict, like that there's part of him who wants to go, like, punch his other best friend for kissing his best friend, but part of him that's like, they're my best friends and I should just be happy for them because they're my best friends and I love my best friends. You know, like, he is really good that way. Like, we've seen how repeatedly he puts them ahead of the girl that he likes. Like, he's constantly like, this blind date is going really, really well, but I gotta go because friends and situation. But that is one aspect of him that I really did like.
Yeah.
So what do we all give this hopefully first season of a drama? What are we rating this?
Like a 7. Like, it's okay. Okay.
I gave it 8 out of 10 because it's my, like, normal, like, if I binge it and I really enjoyed it and still could, like, think about some of the things about it, then 8's pretty, like, kind of standard. I like this more than a lot of things. Like, some things I just kind of just watching, like, oh, it was okay, but I could only watch a couple of episodes. Like, I, like, in one sitting did, like, 4 episodes. Like, it was super easy, and, like, I did enjoy it. And I thought it actually, like, a lot of, like, it had some good writing in it and some good storylines that I thought were really good.
I would give it, like, a 7.5. Like, it was decent. It was good. The acting was good. The filming was beautiful, but it wasn't anything special. Like, it was, you know, just pretty standard, enjoyable. I'll watch season 2 if it exists.
Of course we will, because, you know, Jisoo. I gotta watch Jisoo.
What about you, Sky?
Well, you know, I give 10s to if I enjoy it. So, I mean, I did enjoy it. It was an easy watch.
Be more objective. Be more objective.
No, I'm gonna say the rest of my stuff. My numbers are just crummy. But as far as, like, I did enjoy it. I would recommend it to people who like slice of life, coming of age type stuff. However, the last 2 episodes for me, because his character was driving me kind of batty, I kind of did struggle with those. Like, I didn't even really want to watch them that much, because also I'm a conflict avoider in real life, so anytime I kind of see conflict coming in dramas, and it's gonna get nasty when it hasn't been gradual enough, when it kind of is all just gonna come to a head with your characters that you've loved so much so far, it's kind of a struggle for me. So the last couple episodes, it made me like, oh my goodness. And I really thought it was a 1-season one. So I was like, where? So it's hard for me to really... I don't know. I'd only recommend it to certain people because of that. But definitely if it gets a second season, and it'll probably recover a lot of that, and then I'll be willing to recommend it more. but I was just pretty sensitive to his character at the last 2 episodes, so I was like, Now, I really loved the lead girl and then the best friend guy, and I really loved those characters. So they were aside from all the friendships and that, that's what saved it for me. But
it had found family, and we all know
we're into it.
It must have found family, so it's got that going for it.
Yeah, I mean, so I still enjoyed it. It was just those last 2 episodes were tougher for me.
Yeah, like it was a weird. You're going into those last 2 episodes and not sure. Like if you knew there's 16 episodes, you'd be going into it going, okay, here we go, the mid-run conflict. But when you're going, this is the last episode.
Like,
where is this going?
Wait.
Dude still doesn't know he's her boyfriend, like, that his friend's the boyfriend. Like, that's a problem.
Yeah.
It does, like, because I don't want Jisoo's character to have it, but, like, if this is, like, having a second season and this is midway through the show, is it gonna like switch? Because like if it switches to Jisoo at the end,
no, then his character will have learned nothing.
I know, but
it'd be a bad arc, but not that matters on K-dramas. So
that's
So it depends on if they do. I mean, they could do a season 2 that takes place a year later, right? And they've all been dating, and he's been through the heartbreak of the horrible girlfriend, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they could time jump it. They could do some things. I'm curious because you said based on the first 4 episodes, it seems very similar to the.
Extremely similar, and from what I'm hearing, it continues to be extremely similar.
Like that one was only 8 episodes long.
Yeah, so but it was paced a lot differently.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Because
I
was
did
just
feel the
curious
pacing was weird. When I thought it was just 8 episodes, this one. Not the first few episodes, they felt fine, but the pacing I thought was strange the last few episodes because I thought it was the end.
Yeah.
And so everything was just happening in a strange way, I thought.
Yeah, so it could just be a product of like the pacing would be fine if it was the halfway through, which it could have been. Like it could be, like it could really just be the middle, and then Netflix was the one to be like, hey, do it this way. And so it's like, this is where we are.
Yeah.
And so it's like it seems so crazy on the pacing just because we're like, I don't know, is there going to be an episode after that?
They could have it all filmed and just not have bothered to do any of the post-production on the rest. You know what I mean? Like, that could be what they hold off on. Because it probably doesn't cost you any less or, like, significantly less or more or whatever. Like, filming it all at once would be cheaper than filming it twice.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, and, like, hoping that you get people, you know, with their contracts and other shows and stuff. So I suspect if that was always their intention, the footage exists. It just may not be
edited yet.
And they need to cut it and do all the stuff they need to do. And that's where they've decided, you know, maybe we won't put that money into it until we see how it does.
I do think that this is a really great K-drama for Netflix, especially Western viewership. I think especially now with Netflix doing a lot of kind of the teenage rom-com stuff again, with like doing that one movie based on the book series, the To All the Boys I've Loved, and all those type movies. I think this was a really great strategy for Netflix to have something that like is in that genre that's starting to become a thing here again.
There was a few times when I thought, yeah, this is a good one for Netflix. Because, like, average people who are not into K-dramas could still get this. Like, and it would work.
It wasn't super K-drama. Like, it's like just a kind of regular, like you're going to expect for a drama that you're seeing. Like, there's going to be heightened things, but it's not out of the norm.
I think the only thing that would really, really throw a Western audience that's not into K-dramas at all would be the golf club beating. Because I mean, for us, it was so like, whoa, that's a little much for this particular drama. the first time I saw a dad beat a kid with a golf club, I was like, what is going on in Korea? What is your problem here, people? Like,
but that's like a quick way to denote this guy's a bad father. Yeah. Like it's like a trope to be like, oh, this is the one to hate. Hate this guy.
Yeah. If they have golf clubs in their office, you know they're
you're like, ooh, no. I really hope though, like, that this sort of signals the beginning of Netflix like producing more dramas on themselves, because, you know, it's nice to see like the average person in North America watching a Korean drama, so I don't feel so alone.
Yeah. I hope though that if this isn't the way that they're going to do them, like if they're going to do the multiple season thing, that they make it clear in the future.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. Like, it's almost Netflix doesn't realize that at its core, Korean dramas don't run on that season.
Yeah.
So they have to like figure out like how to accomplish it, especially with Netflix being something where you can binge the entire thing, how you're going to accomplish it, want to come back a couple months later and not just be like, well, I finished all these series, I could just like lapse my Netflix subscription or whatever.
With this one in particular, because it's based off of something else that exists that we could go watch.
Yeah, right now we could just go.
Yeah, I'll just go watch the other show. Be like, oh, okay, that's how it ends. And then when the Netflix second half comes out, I'm like, I've already seen it. Do I need to watch it again?
Mm-hmm. I actually kind of like watching different versions of the same thing, because then I get to see like, ooh, what'd they change? Like, what'd they?
Oh yeah, I do like that too. So it's if you're not that into it, you might not come back. If you know what I mean? Like, if it wasn't for Jisoo, I probably wouldn't. Honestly, I probably wouldn't watch the second half if it wasn't. And
our sweet baby.
I love Chae-Yeon.
We have to support our sweet baby. What can I say?
I really like the lead actress. I think she is doing like an extremely good job in this show. Like, she is very natural in some of the things that she does.
Yeah. Her performance is very nuanced too. It's not like a one note.
Yeah, I think that was like enjoyable to see. Just like watch her react to things, and it was never like static or you know, over dramatic. It was very, you were grasping this character and what someone would do in real life in this situation.
I saw her in something before. I didn't realize that.
Is it To Jenny?
No, I Am.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
It wasn't that good.
It wasn't good.
Bad.
But it was like...
It was weird.
It was okay. It needed fleshing, shall we say.
Yeah.
She was fine.
But she was good in it.
Yeah. Like, it wasn't the acting that was bad about that drama. It was just there was not enough meat on the bones of this drama. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They tried to do things that they didn't have the time to do, and and they're like, wow, okay.
Well, this has been another fantastic, I hope, episode of the Certified Nunas. We hope you have a wonderful week. You can find us wherever you're listening to us now, but also on Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, and YouTube. Please check us out on Twitter, and as our little corporate necessary situation, we now have a coffee, so it's ko-fi.com/certified Nunas. If you want to help support us and keep this podcast running smoothly, we would appreciate it. No pressure, but there's going to be lots of fun extra stuff going up there, and it's going to be a good time. Anywho, we hope you have a great week, and we bid ye adieu. Bye.
Bye.